ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Daily Dimensions podcast. As always, I am your host, Smitty, back with another one. And not only am I excited to bring out this episode, but I'm excited for this week in general, right? The holidays, that's my time. I really love the summer. I think summer is peak for me. I'm a summer baby, right? But the only good time about this season, I hate the cold. I hate that it gets dark early. I hate all of it, right? But I love Thanksgiving. I love Christmas. New Year's and whatever. Miss me with New Year's. Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? I love spending time with family. I love the food. I love the memories. I love the music that come on around Christmas, the lights, all of that stuff, the stuff that make you feel like a kid again. Everything else, like spending money and all that stuff, no, hate it. Can't do it. I can't wait till summer starts again. I've been telling my family, right? Just because, you know, the older you get, the faster time go by, right? Your concept of time continues to change. And once February is over, I consider it summer. I don't even believe in spring no more. Y'all might look at me funny right now listening to this. But once February is done, summer has started for me. And it goes until the end of September. I don't care what anybody says. All year for me, really, is summer. The moment it is slightly warm outside, I'm activated. So the only thing getting me through this season is the holidays, man, for all the reasons I listed. I love family. I love the memories and them plates. Now, speaking of holidays, I wanted to take the time in the beginning of the episode and let y'all know that there's some rules to Thanksgiving. Everybody's got their own. I got mine, right? I want to share my rules to Thanksgiving with y'all. I took the time to write them down. That's how important it is to me, right? So Thanksgiving rules, I got 4 of them, right? Number 1, and this is universal. You should know this. Do not, in this season, the week of Thanksgiving, think that it is okay to experiment with a new recipe right now. Don't do it. Don't experiment. Don't start putting raisins and stuff. Don't just start doing something because you saw it on TikTok and you think it might be cool. Wasting ingredients, wasting time, and disappointing your family on Thanksgiving. Now is not the time to experiment. If you don't have years in that kitchen, right? If you haven't put in the time and the effort and the pain, if you ain't stand next to Big Mama while she was cooking and learn them recipes, if the back of your elbow if it don't look like the way it need to look, please don't come in there Thanksgiving right now experimenting with recipes, right? That's rule number 1. 2, this is a new rule. I hate that I had to establish this rule, but y'all have gotten out of hand, right? No cut water is allowed for Thanksgiving. Now, I know some of y'all are upset. I get it. Don't be mad at me. A cut water is just a Four Loko dressed up. All I'm saying, come in a 4-pack of pain. That's what it is. Cut water ain't nothing but a Four Loko that got a job, that done cleaned himself up, got a GED, and is trying to make something of himself. And you would never drink a Four Loko at Thanksgiving. So please do not show up to Thanksgiving with a pack of cut waters. Maybe the Friendsgiving. I'll give you some grace with a Friendsgiving because y'all just be turned anyway. But do not show up to the family function with a pack of cut waters, right? Now, number 3, this is for the older family members, the elder statesmen of the group. There are certain things we need to stop doing at Thanksgiving, family gatherings in general. And one of them is asking these personal questions about people's life, right? Do not ask me, anybody, right? It's not the time to start asking, what happened to that girl you used to talk to? Don't worry about it. If she not here, shut up. You still work at that job? You still doing that thing? If you waited this long to ask me if I'm still doing it, you clearly don't keep up with me, right? When are you going to have a kid? When the economy allows me to have a kid. Shut up, auntie. What else? What they be saying to people? Oh, you got bigger. So did you. Shut up. What's your blood pressure look like? You know, like all this stuff people be saying. Now is not the time to ask me these personal questions or anybody else these personal questions. I know y'all get them. Everybody get them. If you didn't talk to me all year, right? Because you got my number. I'm a highly accessible person. All my social medias is public. You can very much keep up with my life. If you have a question, comment, or concern, You could have called me. Don't wait until this one time a year you see me to start minding my business. Because then if I mind yours now I ruin Thanksgiving because I told you, yeah, let me not even say that. But because I'm out here telling your business, right? So please, for the love of everybody, don't do that. So those are my Thanksgiving. Oh, wait. I almost forgot the most important one. Rule number 4. And this is the most important rule. So everyone, while you're driving, pull over. Take out a pen and paper. I need to talk to you, right? Rule number 4, save me a plate. Save me a plate. If you're not saving me a plate, I don't think that you truly love me, right? If you love me the way you say you do, if you appreciate me the way you say you do, if you value this platform that is Daily Dimensions the way you say you do, you're going to save me a plate. If not, don't ever listen to me again. And I mean that. I'm going to find out who you are. And I mean that. So now that we've gotten the Thanksgiving rules out the way, I want to let y'all know also, this past Saturday, I was on Facebook Live and YouTube Live with my good brother, Emmanuel Pierre. Emmanuel is based out of Rhode Island. He was one of the panelists for our men's mental health cookout this year. Great brother, life coach, does a lot of amazing things. And we got on there talking about mental health. We talked about the boy inside the man, a lot of inner child conversations happening. And we talked for about 2 hours, man. And it was a great conversation. So you can go back and find that live if you go to YouTube. His YouTube channel is King of Self-Love. Very easy to find. It's on there. If you're listening on the audio, I'll link it in the description. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll link it in the description. But shout out to my boy, Emmanuel Pierre. We got on there and talked for 2 hours, bro. I was like, man, this conversation going. But it was dope. It was dope, man. I was blessed by it. And we'll probably be doing another one maybe in a couple weeks. I got to hit him back and let him know my availability. But yeah, we're going to keep doing those. And then last but not least, let's get into the episode. So I want to talk to y'all, right? This episode is titled Strong But Struggling. The hidden exhaustion of being the one who always has it together and how to ask for help guilt-free. So let's start with just understanding exhaustion doesn't always have a look. The same way people say depression don't have a look, or people who may feel suicidal don't always have a look, and check on your strong friends, all those things, right? Exhaustion and burnout does not always have a look. There are some signs to look for, but it does not always have a look. Some people wear it well. I would like to say I'm the ambassador, the CEO of the I Make It Look Good Club, right? I could be here and be navigating some very complex trauma, navigating a lot of difficult seasons in my life, going through some of the worst stuff you could ever imagine, stuff that I, wish I didn't have to deal with. And it's going to look just about the same as if I was having the best times of my life, because I wear it well. I handle my healing well. I present a certain way without even trying to present a certain way. I don't look like my problems. You know what I'm saying? Some people be like, you don't need to look like what you're going through. I try not to look like what I'm going through. And I've done that to the point where almost to a detriment that people don't even ask me how I'm doing because they see me and assume I'm doing okay. And it's like, I just look okay. Inside, I'm freaking out. I am not doing well. It's like that meme with the dog sitting in the kitchen and the kitchen is on fire and he's like, I'm fine, with the smiley face on. That's how I be looking. Everything is chill, but on the inside, it's like, no, it's really not good. So I've definitely spent a majority of my life being that person that looks like they have it all together. But boy, I'll be exhausted. And it does not always have a look, which is why it's important to speak up for yourself and be able to ask for help. I'm not even going to make this about the other people, right? This is, if you're someone who struggles with the same things I struggle with, I'm speaking directly to you. You got to advocate for help. You got to speak up and ask for help. No one is going to come in and save you, especially because you present to be so strong and like you have it all together. And it's not intentional. It's just how you're wired, right? Because that's how I'm wired. But because we're wired that way, we're going to get overlooked. People are not going to really sit there and be like, oh man, I should jump in and help that person. I should offer some sort of support to that person because you look like someone who doesn't need it. So then they spend that energy on the people who look like they need it. Going back to that saying, right? You ever heard the squeaky wheel gets the oil? We don't ever squeak. We don't ever squeak. Sometimes we need to start squeaking. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to articulate these things and get better at advocating for yourself because it's super important. And people can't help you with the things they don't know to help you with. Some problems are very visible and it's like, oh man, I should really help that person. And some things need to put a voice to it for us to get the assistance that we need. You got to start squeaking. Throw that on a t-shirt or something, put it on a mug. You got to start squeaking because if you don't speak up, people will continue to be like, you're good, you're good, you're good. And then you look up 20 years later, burnt out, exhausted, hair thinning, it going gray, just tired, bones hurting and burnt out. And I've said on this show many of times, right? Like if you don't ask for the help, if you don't advocate for yourself, if you don't start to take a break, your body will do it for you, right? And you got to get ahead of it because when your body do it for you, it's going to be aggressive, it's going to be painful, and it's not going to be fun. So very important to advocate for yourself. Now, let's say you're somebody who is uncomfortable with speaking up for themselves, isn't necessarily good at using their voice, right? Because there are some people who are amazing people, but aren't necessarily good at using their voice, don't feel empowered to use their voice. And then when they finally do use it, you're going a little bit too far with it, right? That person that don't ever speak up, and then when they finally speak up, they're cussing everybody out. And it's like, no, you let balance that out a little bit, balance that out. But getting comfortable using that voice requires repetition and understanding first internally that you're worthy of the help and deserving of the help. You don't have to meet a certain criteria to be like, okay, it's okay for me to ask somebody for something now, right? Now that I've done so much for everybody else, now I'm worthy of asking for help. No, even if you've never done nothing for nobody else, which I mean, you should be helping other people too, but even if you've never done nothing for nobody else, it's still okay to ask for help. I ain't saying never do nothing, but if you need help, get the assistance. And sometimes getting help looks like a family member. Sometimes getting help looks like a professional, right? Think about all the areas in your life you may need help with and understand that there are people who are dedicated to helping you with that. If your health is the thing that you need help with, there's doctors, there's specialists, there's personal trainers. There's so many avenues to get that help. If it's your mental health, if it's your emotions, your mindset, there's coaches, there's therapists, right? There's psychiatrists. There's so many avenues you could go to, but also having support groups, peer groups, friends who are grounded and rooted and who have done some of that work themselves to pour into you, to lean on, right? If it's about needing that your social needs met, there's so many ways to do that, ways that are constructive too, and not that add to this further feeling of exhaustion that you have. There's avenues for it. And sometimes you got to get creative with seeking it out. Right. And even myself, right. Going back to me as an example, one thing I really longed for was a community that also loved God the way I loved God. Right. And that was hard for me to find. And I was at my church for a while and did not feel connected to anybody there. I would show up. I love my pastor. Me and him was cool, but didn't feel connected to anybody. And it was hard to find in my friend groups, my direct friend groups, community that love God the way that I do. So I was like, man, how do I do this? How do I do this? And then I took the chance on a small group, joined a small group in my church. And now I've been here. This is like my third year being in this small group. And I feel more connected to them than a lot of other people. And because we have that mutual foundation that ties us together, but then we've also become really great friends and almost like family. So you got to take that chance and step out there and seek what you're looking for. Get that help, because there's no way I would have ever built community had I not gone to look for it. There's no way I would have built community had I not asked or tried to figure it out or made it a priority to get this need addressed. I looked like I had it all together. I got a podcast, I'm working, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm going to church. But inside, I really felt disconnected in my church. I felt alone in my church. Now I don't. It looked good because I went every Sunday. Inside, I was disconnected. I found a way to fix that, but it takes intention, right? And it takes understanding that you're worthy of the help, that you need to speak up, that you have to advocate for yourself. And like we've been saying, squeaky wheel get the oil. You got to get to squeaking. Also, one big thing for the people who appear to have it all together and are spending so much time pouring into everything but themselves, understand that time is a currency, right? That you can never get a refund on, that you can't get back. You can't get a rebate on it. You can't do anything. You can't exchange it. No, like time is a currency that is very finite. You are born with a specific amount of it. And every second of your life, you get less and less and less of it. And you have, because of that very reason, you have to be very particular about what you invest that time into, because again, time is currency. Take this currency and invest it. We spend a lot of time investing that currency into everything but us. We will spend 40 hours a week at a job, right? You already spend a third of your life asleep. If you do get 8 hours of sleep a day, you're spending a third of your life asleep, another third of it at your job. And what are we doing with the last third? What are we doing with that last third? Not much. We're giving it to other people. We're giving it to our kids. Granted, they need that. We're giving it to friends and family and all these other things. But don't forget, in that 24 hours you got, at least take 1 or 2 to pour into you. I ain't even mean to rhyme right there. You see the bars. Take 1 or 2 to pour into you. Take 1 or 2 to pour into you, man, because you need that. A lot of times we work so hard and do so much and balance so much and deal with so much that by the time we get some free time to invest into ourselves, we do nothing with it but sit down, relax, maybe have a glass of wine, watch TV, a beer, whatever it is, and watch TV, watch your favorite show, take a shower and go to sleep. And I get it, but that's what burnout be looking like. I was that person, bro. I would have the longest of days, and then a little bit of free time I had, I would eat dinner, maybe watch 1 episode of an anime, play a video game, go to sleep. But nothing that was really investing in me to make me better or to replenish my stores or to just refresh my mind, my body, my spirit, and get back to being 100%. We got to invest time into ourselves to make sure we get back to being 100%. Because then instead of having it all together, you're really just only going to look like you have it together. But if you don't internally, right, within yourself, because you know what level you're at, you know when you're not operating at peak efficiency. And if you don't get yourself back to that 100%, you will forever look like you have it together, but not feel like you have it together. And looks are deceiving, right? Let's keep it a bean. There are so many people who look like they have it together, right? I got a degree, I got a job with credentials next to my name, all these different things. Like I got a car, I got my own place, everything looked good. If you just looked at what I allow you to see through social media, I look like I'm living it up. I'm in the Maldives going crazy, right? Making it rain, getting money. You know what I'm saying? And whole time struggling, not well on the inside. Mental cooked, emotions cooked, dating life probably cooked, spiritually struggling. And we got to understand that the looks be deceiving. And I don't want to just look good. I want to feel good and be good. I'm good. It's got to be so much more than just the appearance. I don't want to be someone that's caught up in the facade, or I have to present a certain way. Like, I'm an open book. I'll tell y'all right now, if I'm not doing good, I'm going to let y'all know. If I'm struggling, I will let y'all know. I've never hid nothing from nobody I talk to now, right? Because I say it all the time. Your story is your strength. It's on the t-shirts, right? Your story is your strength. And I don't hide it no more. It used to take me more energy to pretend I was okay than to just let people know I'm not. And I don't know if that's like that for y'all, but pretending to be okay is work. Showing up to places when you are not yourself is work. Going to work with all that stuff on your mind and you still thinking about it at work is draining. And I didn't want to live a life like that anymore. I knew I wanted different for myself. I knew I wanted better for myself, and I went and found it, right? I went to therapy. I dedicated my life to God. I started healing all my family relationships. I had the conversations I need to have. I set the boundaries and enforced them. I love myself a lot better. And now I'm trying to help y'all get to that same level. I'm invested in y'all just as much as I'm invested in myself. And I want y'all to keep being the best versions of yourself. But it starts by being honest about where we are, who we are, and where we want to get to, and doing what's necessary to get there. I don't want anyone else to have to live a life where they feel like they have to present to be strong, right? Strong, but struggling. Strong doesn't have to be the only way you're identified. You also are able to be identified as something very different than just, oh, you're so strong. Especially as a strong person, when people be like, oh my God, you're so strong. It's not because I want to be. It's not because I chose this. I actually hate it here. I want to be relaxed. I want to be at peace. I want a soft life. I want it to be cool. I want it to be aesthetically pleasing. All those things, man. I don't know anyone who's strong, who's happy to be that, unless you're a bodybuilder, like that kind of strength. But anyone who's like, yo, you such a strong person, don't nobody like that compliment. It's because it's like, brother, I didn't choose this. It chose me. But what we can do is choose peace, choose love, choose healing, and choose to invest that time into ourselves to get back to 100%, to bring balance into our lives and get to the place that we need to be so that we can love on ourselves, live a life of abundance, and get through it day by day. So I appreciate y'all listening to me. Again, do not bring the cut words to Thanksgiving. This has been Daily Dimensions. I love y'all, man. Peace. Be great.